What's happening, guys? So today we are doing Hi, hello and welcome. Today we are going fishing. What are we going fishing for? Whatever bites. But I've got some dead bait. It hasn't been in my car since last week. And I've got some worms which I caught like chub on last week. Photo incoming. So yeah, we are going to do a bit of fishing today, and I'll show you some of the techniques that I use, places that I go. I'm not going to share the exact location, but we'll just call it the River Cam. I love the River Cam. Could be a lot better, but if you get good at fishing it, it's taken me a long time to get there, and some days you sit there and you think, it's not biting today, I'll move, and then you don't move and you sit there in the same place all day, and then you keep chucking your maggots in, and eventually you think, I'm going to pack up and go home, and then bang, you miss a big chub or a big perch. So sometimes it pays to invest in one spot, and some days it definitely pays to do some roaming. So we'll see how we go today, and yeah, I'll get back to you. We're at traffic lights, so okay, so we are on the way to the fishing spot. I think we are going to try perch first, and then we'll maybe go for some pike later, because perch tend to, if they're biting, they'll bite in this spot, and if they're not biting, you could be sitting there a while trying to fish one out, which is still quite possible, but you know, they're either sitting there in this hole or they're not. So the action will be fast and quick, and then nothing unless I want to sit and fish it, or nothing if I get a few tugs. I'll keep trying, but give it an hour or so in this spot, and see how we get on, and then we'll move on to another one. Okay, so here we are at Perch Corner. Get set up. Won't take us very long at all. Try and be a bit stealthy. Nice long rest. Let's see what we're using. So, I have a large size 4. Large size 4 to 7 gram. I think a 7 gram, yeah, little 7 pair. A little bead, little shock bead between that, and this is fluorocarbon. I think £6, between 6 and 8. Need something strong because chub will bury their heads, and you'll need to pull them back, and then the drag just set to, if you pull it too tight, it'll come off. So I'll show you how we hook a worm. Find a nice juicy lob, actually quite a small one, but that'll do. First fish, and then as you catch them, You can always fish bigger. So you take your hook, get your worm. This is called the saddle, this little thick section there. And we hook it back that way, so that if he wriggles, the only way you can go is back up the hook. That's why we do that, and that's all you need. But I like to pull it over the eye, so it just covers the eye, and you've got a section of hook sticking out, but the eye is covered, so the worm ain't going nowhere. Okay, so as I say, it's either instant action here, or we might be sitting for a while, so I'll try and bring you over. And you want it just over there, on that bend. There's a deep hole over there, so give it a swing, try and get past these dead nettles. Not too bad, I've done better. Put that bail arm on. I've got to say, we may have some instant action. I actually have got a tripod as well, and I forgot to bring it. Tighten that up a little bit, and sometimes just a little bit of action, a little bit of reeling in, and tempt those perch out. Just caught on something. Okay, so now I've left it a little while. I don't have a phone in my hand. I'm going to try and just get it out to a different spot. A little bit further, and a little bit more in the bend corner. Beautiful. Now, as I say, this was produced for me many times, almost instantly. See that rod tip there. Yeah, fishy, fishy, fishy. A few little wrens in the brushes, in the dead nettles around the edges on the bank. Just hear them chirping. I love a little wren. I'll just give it a little wind, because there are also crayfish in this section of river, and they'll take a worm all day long and sit there making you think you've got a fish. Well, I'm very surprised that there's nothing in the hole. I'm going to give it another cast. Maybe the fish are camera shy, but I would have loved to have got this live for you. And sometimes with perch as well, if you just reel it in almost all the way to the bank, right in front of you, a foot away from the rod, they'll follow that in and they'll wait. At least the bottom's quite clear here, which is good. I already knew that though. Unfortunately, this is why they call it fishing and not catching. Oh, got a couple of bumps then. I'll give it another cast. Just reel that in. It's just underneath the road now, pretty much. I can smell the river on my net from the other day. Let's have a cast. There we go. Just a little bit further off the bend, so I'm not on the bend, past the bend as it starts to come back out again to the river. The overhanging willow there. It's dead now, but it's very difficult to get underneath in the summer. But if you can get in the right place, you're effectively landing in a hole beneath a raft on a bend. So it's a really good spot. Just going to move my bait because there's a dog walker coming, and I bet that I get a fish while I'm waiting. He moves away. Hello, you're right.
No.
Are you training?
Yes.
Yeah. Sometimes because of the camo, until I speak and stuff, they get a bit funny. Hello.
No, no back.
Sorry.
Alright, no back. It's okay.
I'll
Yeah,
ignore.
alright. Good boy. Yes. Yes. Good boy. Okay, good boy. No back. Good boy. No back. No. Okay. No. I'm okay. Good boy.
Thank you. You have a great day.
Good boy. That's a good boy. Come on. Good boy. Come on.
Yeah, it's very hard to resist saying hello to doggies sometimes, but you can see when people are training, you should address the dog owner, not the dog. You should do that anyway, but definitely doesn't help when people like me, well, hello, come in then, and they're trying to teach a bit of discipline. But that chocolate lab done a great job, I thought. So I think I'm caught on something, probably a crayfish. But at least I'll be able to show you that. Oh, it's a stick. Caught a stickfish. That's how close I was to the, what do they say? Snags. If you're not in the snags, you ain't on the fish. I'm just going to re-tie this up a little bit, just so you've got a little bit less hook on there. I'll give it one more cast here, and then I think we'll move. I know that there's fish here, but if they want to make me look like I don't know what I'm talking about on my YouTube channel, then I don't want to fish for them. I think many fishermen know you could sit here and slog this out all day, chuck in this worm, and something will come. You know, I would like a bite. So I'm just really slowly reeling it along the bottom here. Just creating a little bit of action. Very slowly. A little pause. Pause is very important as well. Have a possible drop back there? No? Pause. do have one more trick before we go. I know there's fish here. Came off. Okay, we're gonna pop up the other end, see if they're down there. Okay, it's a shame, but as I say, that's fishing. So I've just moved down the river a bit. Actually upriver, if you want to be pedantic about it. I'm just going to fish around here. Try and do that. This is a really good spot for it's quite clear, it's quite stony on the bottom. That's a good place for just dragging it along. There we go, we're getting some bites now. Getting over there on the other side. Alright. Small fish, possibly gudgeon. Could even be crayfish, there's something on there. Very close to the tree, but it's where we want to be. So you'll have to let me know what's more interesting, fishing with me or me just putting up the pictures of the fish, because yeah, sometimes it works out perfectly and I think I should have filmed that, and then other days I think, well, have I got some fresh air? Got a little twig. Stuck on something. You're not in the snags. You're fishing for the redfish. that, get right round. If I can. Good. Can you see that? Oh, you can. Brilliant. Skills with Barry. Anyway, perfect. This is how you get the line fast without damaging your rod. So you never do this. You just pull backwards and make sure the drive is tight. The line is going to see. There's my worm on the tray with my lead. How do you change? Okay, so when it comes to fishing, I could definitely give you some tips. Have a feel along your line, make sure there's no abrasions or kinks or anything you want to get out. There's a few at the end there, so we'll get rid of this last little bit at the end. The rest is okay. I'm going to show you how I'm going to tie this rig up again quickly. So I didn't have another 7, so it's going to be a 14 and a stopper, and I'm going to put the stopper fat side down so that the lead doesn't get stuck. Doesn't look like it will, but it just helps the process. I think if it has a better buffer, and it also kicks the hook link away, this little taper at the end. So first bit, nice and simple. It's a running ledger, buffer, lead, simple. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to take, we will tie a overhand knot, so an overhand loop in this. Remember, we're going to get rid of some of that, so we'll get rid of that piece. Just a small loop, make your loop. Trap it with your finger. And then twist the line, place it over the top, and then pinch it with your nails to pull it through. Always remember to wet it. It's a friction knot, which means the tighter it's pulled, the tighter it is, but you must wet it, otherwise it will keep sliding. Oh, I don't think I have a lighter. Oh, yes I do. Burn off the end. It won't burn you, just, you know, just, it's called blobbing it. A little blob. I'll stop that knot from slipping, and if it does, it's got a little bit of something there to help it on the way. So that's that end done. It's the main line. Now we'll do the hook link. So we'll take a section of, and it was 7.15 pounds hook link, just need about 2 foot. Again, I'll do no scissors today. I actually bought some new scissors and they're at home. Where did I put the lighter? So we'll just use the lighter to cut the line. Easies. And in one end, I'm just going to tie again an overhand loop. Just a small one. Doesn't need a lot of play. The more play you have in your loop, the more chance it's going to get tangled. Remember to wet it. Nice and tight that. Don't necessarily need to blob this one off, but I like to keep everything neat, and it's not too bad this time of year, but in the summer it stops you picking up drifting weed and stuff, because it's kind of like a little hook in itself. Now you've got a smaller hook, it will flip off, but still gets caught, but it just helps. Then business end, we will take a size 4. Why do I use a size 4? Because I'm using big hooks and I want a big fish. I know you can use a size 20. I've caught many a big fish on a size 20. I've also done many other methods. Today I'm using a size 4. So we do a grinner knot. 2 ends of the line, take enough to fold it over on itself, we'll make a loop, pull this line underneath the loop, and then we're going to go around 5 times. I use my teeth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and lick. Right, the tag end, cinch it down, cinch both sides down, pull that, and I think you'll find that ain't going nowhere. Sometimes the knot will be stronger than the line and it will snap at the knot, which is where the line will break, not the knot. It's that good a knot. You can use it on anything, and it's actually really easy to undo going back the other way. So now I've got my hook link, which is about a foot, not too long because I don't want it flipping around with the lead. I'm just going to put the 2 loops, loop through loop, feed the hook back through the hook link hook, it's actually really easy. There you go, and then cinch that down over the other side. Loop to loop is one of the strongest knots you can have. So we've got our bead, we've got our lead, and we're just going to crimp this barb as well, because these are barbed hooks. You don't need a barbed hook. If I was fishing for survival, I'd use a barbed hook because the fish can't get off. Well, it's very hard for the fish to get off. So we just take our forceps, if you can see that tiny barb on there, and we're just going to cut that down. There you go, you hear that click? That was the barb snapping. Cool, and now we take our bait, and I'll show you one more time. I might go savage mode, but we'll try the whole worm first, because sometimes fish see that worm and they think, that's a whole worm, I'm gonna yam that, and it comes straight out of wherever they are and they'll eat it whole very quickly. It's pretty much a snake, but we are set up, back ready to fish. Hole. I'm going to try a snake on. Chuck it over here. I'm a little bit more gentle with my cast, just because that's twice the weight I was fishing with before. Pop her up there and leave her. I'm sure it'll go off. Get it on camera, but not, let's check this beautiful setting out. That's where we come from, just down there. I've seen foxes like poking their head around here, and then they see me sitting here in the evening and they're like, oh, hello. And so leave that for a second. I think I've been having a nose and Seen a pike just sitting down there in the shallows. I actually caught lots of fish down here. Caught my first fish on a lure down here as well. There used to be a branch that went, or a tree that was here, and I caught the fish. And it was night time, and as I'm reeling it in, it suddenly started going straight up in the air. And what I'd done is I'd cast over the branch. It'd fallen in the water, and I'd caught the fish, and the fish went up and over the branch. Quite interesting. Unhooked itself and saved me the worry. But that was my first fish on a lure. Well, if anything happens, I'll come back to you. I do not think today is my day. I just had another tree, but I did get my rig back. So we are going for the brutalization of this poor defenseless worm, hooking him through the saddle, putting that hook through, popping it through, and then we are going to inject close to the hook. Close to the hook as possible. I'm just going to pinch and just pull. Just lets a bit of blood out. Another one. I know. That's out. It's just got a little damage, and then what I might also do is just chop this tail off and thread the tail on like you would sea fishing, anyone that goes sea fishing. So I now have a threaded tail on an injured half worm. If I was a fish, I know what I'd be eating. And the last tip I can give you is to wipe that juice on the line, without a doubt. Okay, if we don't get any on this, I'll probably move on. Bad cast. Had better. I'll keep a slight. I'll keep the line tight actually, because that's to size 14. Hello. Hiya. Is it okay to say hello? Yeah. Hiya. Hey puppy. Hello. Oops. There you go. So we caught this luring with that little worm, and she swallowed the hook, or he, but we got it out. So a 9 for that dive. Well, not exactly our target for today. Perch that size would have been nice, or pike like 5 times, 10 times that size would have been lovely, but you know, we wouldn't have starved. And we'll go to a different location now for a little today. I'll see what the time is. As I say, full-time dad, my child will be home from school shortly. Look at that, it's a beautiful bend. That's where we started, but that little spot just there, that's where normally I would have made a fantastic video. So I might come back there another day and insert that here and save this for another day. But just got a few bits done today. Thanks for watching.